you're gonna get low-key rich, and I'm gonna help you get low-key rich in this video, but only if you apply the teachings and you watch the video all the way to the end, as well as smashing the like button, hitting the subscribe button, and joining our squad here today. But in all seriousness, in my 20s, I applied these 10 mini habits, and today, in my 30s, I'm now a multi-millionaire, traveling the world, escaped the rat race, living a life of complete abundance and freedom, and it's all because of these quote-unquote mini habits that I've applied over time. You see, getting rich isn't about pulling all-nighters or working 20-hour days. It's actually about developing tiny micro habits and consistent behaviors. You know, the things that you can do every single day, those little tiny details that really add up. Well, in this video, we're gonna call these mini habits. And over time, these mini habits stack on top of each other, they compound, and one day you might wake up and be, well, low-key rich. Now, I know this to work because it's worked in my life, and I came from next to nothing. I started my own businesses with 0 followers, 0 money, 0 backing. I did it all on my own, but I did have these mini habits. So here are these 10 mini habits that can help you set the foundation for beginning to build long-term wealth, and these small, consistent actions have the potential to compound for you over time. And one of my favorite analogies comes from the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. In the book, he talks about how small, consistent actions over time lead to massive results, either positive or negative, depending upon the choices that you make. And at his core, his message says that small, smart choices plus consistency plus time equals radical results. And he explains that most people look for overnight success, but real success comes from daily habits, discipline, and persistence, not from big dramatic actions, but by those mini little habits that you can choose every single day. So the first habit that's going to get you low-key rich is going to be tracking every single dollar you earn. Every day, you should spend at least 1 minute logging your daily spending. This builds awareness and control over your finances. Now, when I first started this mini habit, I had $32 in my bank account. That's right, $32. I remember this day as clear as day. I was in my early 20s. I looked at my bank account and I was literally flat broke. I was living at home with my parents. I had very little income, but I knew one day I was gonna get, well, low-key rich. From that moment forward, every single dollar that I spent, I tracked, and I became very aware of where my money was going. Today, even to this day, as a multimillionaire, I am very humble about how much I'm actually spending. I don't really buy a whole lot of designer clothes. I very rarely will travel first or business class, unless it's on really long flights because I'm quite tall. I definitely need the space. I don't have a fancy car. I don't have a fancy house. Literally 99% of my net worth is tied up in assets. Those assets generate income for me so that I have the freedom to do whatever I want. And that is real peace of mind. But it all starts with tracking where my money is and where it's coming in from. So while $1 today doesn't seem like a lot, it can add up to a lot in the long run. So make sure you know exactly where your money is going. Mini habit number 2 is to read 5 minutes every single day. Now, preferably, I'd have you read a business book, a finance book, or a self-growth book for 5 minutes, because wealth is often a result of financial literacy and mindset. And unfortunately, they don't teach us these things at school at all. I remember one Christmas in my 20s, I told my parents I don't want anything for Christmas except for a bunch of finance and personal development books. And funny enough, they bought me about 20 of them. For that next year, I read 2 to 3 books every single month. So I went above and beyond the 5 minutes a day. But for you, 5 minutes every single day, if you stay consistent with this, reading, growth, business, personal development books, you're going to start to develop what is known as a money mindset, which then will help you with financial literacy, and really everything is just attracted into your life. Let me share with you an example. Your thoughts really become reality. So you have to first think about money, because then your thoughts will turn into actions, your actions then will turn into results, and your results will then allow you to do whatever you want to do, and that's when you get to be, well, low-key rich. Let me give you a few of my favorite books of all time when it comes to personal finance. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is an absolute must. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki also is an all-time favorite. The Richest Man in Babylon is also another one of my favorite books. The Millionaire Next Door, and well, if you just go to ChatGPT or Google, what are some of the best personal finance books, you'll have an endless list. But those are just a few of my favorites. And remember, 5 minutes a day goes a long way. Now, your third mini habit is to invest automatically. Start with as little as $5 a day, which is about $150 a month, towards the future by finding investments. Tiny, consistent investing beats occasional big moves, and the richest people in the world, like Elon Musk, like Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos, aren't necessarily rich because of their businesses, but they're really rich because of what their businesses are valued at. And you can own a piece of their businesses too by investing in stocks, cryptocurrency, and using our example of Jeff Bezos. Amazon is one of the most successful companies in the world, but Jeff Bezos is rich in the billions of dollars because of what his stock is valued at and because he is a majority owner of it. So by starting today, investing just small amounts, that's going to compound to large amounts in the future. And this is how my net worth has ballooned and how yours can too. But don't expect this to happen overnight. It's taken me years in the market and a lot of volatility to make the amount of money that I have. Now, your fourth mini habit is to say no at least one time a day. Now, you really want to say no to unnecessary expenses or time wasters. Discipline with money starts with small boundaries. It's so easy today to scroll on TikTok, to go on Instagram, or to watch this YouTube video. But hang on a second, because this video is way more valuable than 99% of all the other social media out there. The reason why is because when it comes to your finances, that affects almost everything in your life, where just a funny TikTok or some sort of entertainment really isn't going to benefit you or your loved ones or everyone else. This video can actually make you low-key rich if done correctly, and you actually do all these mini habits. Most people today, like your friends and your family, they're pulling you to play it safe, to just do the bare minimum. But in reality, if you really want to be low-key rich and you want to escape the rat race, you're going to have to do a little bit more. And one of those things is saying no to your friends and family at certain times. Now, I'm not saying do this all the time, but I am saying you do need to say no if you have bigger ambitions and goals. And don't worry, if they really love you, they're still going to love you at the end of the day. And if they really don't, well, then you're going to find out who your real family and friends are very quickly. Now, your fifth mini habit is to review and make goals every morning. Goal setting is absolutely essential to your success. If you don't have goals, you have no idea what you're aiming after. You have no idea where you're going in life. Imagine a cruise ship just sets sail, but it doesn't have an end destination or goal. It would just wander off aimlessly into the ocean. But if it knows exactly where it's going to go, it's going to get there 99.9% of the time. That's why you need goals. Get out a sheet of paper, write down 10 goals. From there, go to your top 5, then narrow it down to your top 1 or 2, and really focus on those until they're complete. This is what Warren Buffett has done time and time again, and he became one of the richest men in history. Now, every morning, glance at your financial goals or your vision board for at least 30 seconds. Repetition reinforces your long-term focus. Now, I've made vision boards, I've had sheets, and funny enough, almost all of my goals have come true. I first wanted to be a 7-figure entrepreneur. That came true in my 20s. And now today, I'm well on my way. I also wanted to be completely free and abundant. And I've been living this way for the last 8 years. Now, I also have some other financial goals, so you have to stay here on the channel to learn more about those. So subscribe, smash the likes, and let's continue now with number 6 of your mini habits, which is asking the question, how can this make money? Ask yourself every single day this very simple question. How can this make money? Once a day, challenge yourself to see how something you do or enjoy can generate income. This builds an entrepreneurial mindset. Most people don't get rich, not because they don't want to get rich. It's truly because they don't have the mindset that they can actually do it, and they don't believe that it's possible for them. By asking yourself, how can this make money? You begin to notice all of the different opportunities that are already around you. This then will light the creativity from inside, and it'll be like you have illuminated an entirely new world simply because you shifted your mental habit here of thinking about how things can make you money instead how they can take it away from you. By challenging your mind and actually thinking here, this can give you some amazing ideas. And I went to school in college for education, and my first thought was, well, how can I take my degree and make money? Well, I could get a job, but I didn't really want one of those because they didn't pay very well, and I didn't want to work 8 to 9 hours a day. Call me lazy, sure, but I just wanted to have freedom, and I really wanted to not worry about money ever again. This then opened my mind to many other opportunities. I started asking people how to actually make money on autopilot using passive income. How do I run my own business instead of working for somebody else? and one thing led to another. Today, I have over 1 million followers on multiple different social media channels. I have money coming in from multiple different directions from all around the world. So if you want to learn even more about passive income and how I'm earning this by educating others, I have a free masterclass. The link is in the description. But that entrepreneurial mindset changed my life forever. Which leads us to step number 7. Our mini habit is to learn one financial term a day. Get out ChatGPT. Get out a dictionary if you really want to, but every day for 365 days, look up and understand one money or investing term daily. Over a year, that's over 365 new concepts increasing your financial IQ. Now, I'm surprising myself with this every single day. There's so many acronyms and things that I don't even know about finance still today, and I'm a millionaire. But if I want to become a deca-millionaire or maybe even a billionaire one day, I know I'm going to have to learn even more about finance, how money works, and how to compound it so that I can truly reach those goals. By looking up and understanding how money works and understanding its terminology every single day for an entire year, you're going to increase your financial IQ, which is going to allow money to be attracted to you in abundance. Now, mini habit number 8 is to save $1 every single day. Now, if you can save more, that's great, but I believe every single one of you watching this video can save at least $1 a day. That's only $365 in an entire year, or approximately $30 a month. But here's why we're going to save money. Now, I've gone on TikTok and many other places and said that you should never save money, but there is one exception to this. By saving every single day, this reinforces the habit of paying yourself first. This is a key distinction because the dollar is losing its value every single day. In fact, in the last approximately 100 years, 97% of the dollar's value has absolutely evaporated and crashed. And the government keeps printing dollars every single day, making them less and less valuable. So in theory, you really don't want to be saving money. However, by getting in the habit of paying yourself first and putting a little money aside, this is a really good habit to have for your finances, as well as having a little bit of money set aside in a savings account in the bank is a good thing to have in an emergency case. I believe everyone should have an emergency fund of approximately 6 months to a year, depending upon your circumstances. So if you have a family and kids, you might want to have an entire year's worth of an emergency fund. Now, if you're in your 20s or 30s like me, 6 months might be enough. Now, again, work with your financial advisor on this. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing with you what I do, and it makes me feel comfortable. And now the reason why I have this savings account is because if all my businesses collapsed, if the stock market or the crypto or whatever went to zero, I could then rebuild. I have a savings account in cash, and I could survive day to day for at least 6 months. And with that amount of time, I could definitely then generate more income and continue on with my life, and I don't have to worry about the stress or anxiety of money. Which leads to mini habit number 9, network intentionally. Send one message or make a comment a day to build your professional network. Wealth often flows through relationships. Have you ever heard the saying, it's not about what you know, but who you know? This is very, very true. The more I look into my own personal network, if I ever really needed something, I know exactly where to go. And that in itself is worth millions of dollars and very valuable. But this takes time to build. Also, you need to have skills and or things of value that people in your network are going to want to learn from you. With my online courses and programs, with my social media videos, with every single thing that I'm doing, people are coming to me looking for education. Why? I'm living a life that they want to live. So they want to learn from me. They want to go, how does this work? How did that happen? How do you make money online? How do you make money with social media? How do you make money selling online courses? Whatever it might be, whatever skills you have, you can monetize those skills. Let me share with you an example. I was just recently in Las Vegas for the Bitcoin conference, and I was at the gym when somebody asked me for a piece of gym equipment. I said, sure, here you go. I'm not using it. And from there, we struck up a conversation. Then they ended up following me on social media, found some of my content, and then wanted to start their own online course and program. Now, this person may very well become a student of mine. But again, had I not gone to this networking event, which was the cryptocurrency conference, had I not put myself out there, had I not actually been out and going and doing things in real time and quote unquote networking, I would have never met this person, never had the effect on their life, and potentially never had a new student. So not only is it important to network, but it's important to network intentionally, which leads us to our 10th mini habit, and that is to write down one idea daily. Jot down one business, side hustle, or improvement every single day, because ideas lead to compounding effects. And these ideas lead to actions, and these actions lead to results. My entire journey from $32 in my bank account to now millions all started with a thought. I wanted to be a millionaire. I wasn't a millionaire. I didn't have any skills of a millionaire, but every single day I learned. I applied these 10 mini habits, and little by little I saved, I accumulated, I reinvested, I kept building, I kept creating, I kept sharing, I kept writing down things every single day. And just a few years later, and years can go by very quickly, I now have the results that most people only dream about. And to be honest, I'm nowhere near as wealthy as the 1% of the population. So while these habits may seem small, they build financial discipline, knowledge, and action, which then can lead to you becoming, you guessed it, low-key rich. Now, if you want help becoming low-key rich besides these habits and learning from an expert like myself how I'm able to get millions of views on social media, earn passive income through my social media channels, as well as how I have online courses teaching a variety of different skills on personal development, finance, crypto, social media, and much more, you can find everything down below in the description, and or you can just subscribe to this channel. It's absolutely free. Check out my other videos. I've handpicked a bunch of them here just for you, so don't go anywhere just quite yet, as we post on this channel very frequently. So thanks again for watching. Check out those next videos, check the links in the descriptions, and we'll see you very soon.